Cabrevale Diggers once again hosting the 23-24 Bowls New South Wales Champion of Club Champion pairs. We're down to the second last day of competition. It's quarterfinal day morning for the women's pairs and it's round of 16 for the men. And we've just played the first bowl on our women's quarterfinal. It's Carol White and Chris Myers from South Tamworth up against Eva Sadler and Lisa Pillar of Narrabri. It's been a little bit overcast this morning. 2 millimetres of rain overnight. Just enough to drop a little bit of speed off the greens. Still looking an absolute peach. Still running very well. Carol just bunting Eva's bowl up to the head. Big shout out to all of our usual Bowls Tragics now jumping on. And it's not a Bowls New South Wales live stream without Phil Lubke saying hello from Silverdale. A couple of good bowls there. Just had Lee just asking a couple of technical questions. Good bowl from Lisa covering the back. The green bowl is Eva Sadler's. We do have 3 purple sets on this rink. The good thing is the South Tamworth girls have the green and yellow stickers on. If you do have a question, do try to throw it in the comments. We'll do our best to answer them during the live stream. There are a few topics we'll just go, well, we can't say much about that, but we'll do what we can. We'll swap over for the leads to play their second bowls of this first end. You'll notice that our progress scoreboard is active in the bottom right of screen. We'll do our best to bring you as many updates throughout the day there as possible. The Narrabri team, well, they're chuffed to have got this far. Eva jokingly said they were happy if they won one game, and they're right through to the quarterfinals. Shout out to those from South Tamworth watching on. I know there'll be quite a few. Even if they are holiday on the Gold Coast at the time, like Jeff. Chance here, try and get down just around the shot bowl. Little touch of the jack. Just not going to clear the traffic on the way in. Our scores down the bottom, we will update them regularly. Of course, most teams just getting underway with their first end. Chris Myers. Backhand shot this time. It's going to be a little bit on the wide side. We are right down to the quarterfinals of the women's pairs. It's the round of 16 of the men. So the other 11 games, we will scroll through their scores. Bottom right of screen, you'll see our rolling scoreboard. The matchups there being shown. Good bowl from Chris Myers. May well have, well, it's just fallen in. Made two. Chance here for Lisa Pillar. She can play through that green bowl, get a good result. Backhand for Lisa, out to left of screen as we watch. Just hiding behind, well, it's just gone past. Opening end was a score for South Tamworth. Carol White will roll the jack to start end number 2. So you're looking to watch some bowls here today. All of the action at Cabra Vale Diggers. Good starter from Carol. Because the match-up here, players do know each other fairly well, I believe. Very similar areas, north-western area of the state. Got to Play a few different teams on the way in. So the top part of the draw is Ettalong Memorial up against Beresfield. And our feature game, South Tamworth and Narrabri. The bottom half of the draw, bumper matchup on rink 10. A couple down from this one. Jamie Lee Warsnop, Ellen Fife from Cabramatta up against Julie Cotton and Kay Moran of Fig Tree. And the fourth quarterfinal, Hayley McDonald and Mary Grant of Balna playing Jen Dells and Tash Van Ulick on rink 11. Cracking games there. Some pretty fair matchups in the men's games as well. In the men's games, we have Chiroji Park up against Singleton RSL. Cabramatta taking on Kempsey Heights. Wendy Leagues taking on Malua Bay. Club Malua Stingrays, our champions from a couple of years ago. Thomas the Tank Engine, Dave Thomas and Jay Bruce. Windale. Marty Ball taking on Tarrant Point, Ray Pearce. A little bit of local derby in the men's as well. Corrimal up against Fig Tree Sports. Corrimal edged out Warilla yesterday. Ettalong taking on Raymond Terrace. Hemi Palmer, Darren Morrison against Buckets Lean and Shane Evans. We've got Nelson Bay. Richard Gervin taking on Gunnedah Zeleneatha Sam Pryor. Gervo's partner not available, so he's managed to rope in a half-decent sub in John O'Davis, who didn't play the pairs. And another Illawarra team taking on our current pairs, state pairs champions, Ben Winther and Brett Spur. Mount Lewis taking on Neil and Paul Bartley from Berkeley. Oh, good effort from Eva. No, sorry, that one's Lisa. Lisa using a purple XV1. 3 sets of purple bowls on this rink. Carol using a Drake's Pride Adrenaline. Chrissy Myers a Dreamline XG. Eva has a Premier and Lisa an XV1. So the forecast for today for Cabramatta, up to 5 millimetres. Not expected to arrive here until around about 4 p.m. And then just a little bit drizzly tomorrow for our finals day. It's not that cold outside, but a lot of players are opting for jumpers or the jacket. Bit of a mix, those with and without. Can get it. Oh well, couple of chances there to turn her own up to Jack. Carol indicating behind. Good line. Lisa looking for the weight to the green bowls. It's just going to hang a little wide for what she wanted. Carol, it's just going to be a little bit wide again. Well, I don't mind that shot at all. Call there by Eva Sadler. A little bit of weight to your own bowls. Get the split, you come through. The bowl just behind the solid purple is hers, I believe. The darker solid purple's Elisa's. He's got the split and run. I think that'll be another 2. Yep, it is 2 conceded. The scoreboard is right in front of our camera. In fact, that camera is right over the top of the left-hand side numbers. Players view there, you can see our camera straight above the number 4 on the scoreboard. Oh, great start from Eva. Narrabri holding 1. Eva indicating to Lisa that that bowl is jack high. That one's probably in for shot. May well have been shot already from that shot now. There we go. We've got a special guest coming into commentary, Gav Burston, the Greenkeeper extraordinaire, the man in charge of making sure these surfaces are as spick and span as they are.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
Pretty good today. A couple of millimetres overnight. Just took a little bit of the edge off.
Yeah, we had about 1.8 millimetres. We got good this morning 5. That was slightly damp. The concrete was slightly damp, so we got the mowers out this morning and a bit of a snip and the rollers went straight on at 7 o'clock. But they'll speed up as the morning progresses, no doubt.
Still a decent pace to play some good bowls, and the ladies are helping us out there. Well, mostly. Chrissy's forgotten to stand to the side, but she blocks less of the head than I do. It's a bright start for the South Tamworth girls. A pair of shots on each of the opening ends. Yeah, the forecast is that from the Bureau app, I looked at Cabramatta's and the rain should come in. Well, it's saying from 5 we're going to get 0 millimetres, but from about 7 a little drizzle, about a millimetre every 2 hours for the next 24 hours or so after that. We do know Marylands and Guildford had a very big shower on Tuesday. Enough to halt play for a while.
In the last 2 nights up there, so yeah, very soggy all around New South Wales at the moment.
Phil Means says get the cattle prod out. I wouldn't do that to Chris. I can't run faster than she is. She might beat me up.
She might, mate.
I've got to know quite a few of the South Tamworth people pretty well because we've had a couple of events out there. Great club spirit as well.
Great club, good greens.
Yeah, Nick does a good job out there.
Yep.
I'm never going to criticise a greenkeeper because, well, my lawn looks terrible, so I'm not even going to say anything about a bowling green.
Oh, we don't throw lawn bowls down our lawns, but Andrew, so you can get away with that.
Cool. I'm not going to throw my bowls on my lawn. The puppy would chase them.
Yeah.
And try and pick them up.
Yeah.
Probably not good for his teeth. Oh, well. He was on a great track, Lisa. Just caught the edge of the bowl at the front. Got any hot tips for us who's going to win this competition, Gav?
Oh, mate. I had a look around there this morning and I'm a big fan of Brewsty's, mate, so I reckon he'll go close. He's playing good bowls at the moment. You've got Razor out there and, Disco's out there, so anything's possible with the girls. That's on the day. I think on the day, Natasha's a big chance. So it just depends on how they get through this first half an hour of play this morning. I think it's adjusting to that slower section on that green. So
Well, Jay's probably strong enough to carry old Thomas the Tank Engine, Dave.
But like I said, it's if the wind blows this afternoon and they dry up, it could be anyone's game out there. All right.
Well, there's a couple of teams accounted for some big names already out there, so there's 3 purple bowls picked up already. And they're 2 different types of purple, so it's South Tamworth scoring again.
Yeah. Where do you move to next week, mate? Are you
Off to Foster.
Foster
Women's Carnival.
Ladies Carnival, yep.
It's 3 this time. Unfortunately for us, Foster's looking a little on the damp side at the moment.
It is, yeah.
Doesn't look too bad over the days of the carnival, but moment we're certainly going ahead.
And then back here for the singles.
Yes.
Following week.
A week after, we've got men's and women's pennant finals.
Men's and women's pennant
4
finals.
divisions of those.
And then the inner zones.
And inner zone at Northmead. I don't want to say we're men's and women's pennant finals because they're all over the state. 8 different venues. 7 actually. Division 1, men and women both at Charlestown and Lambton. 7 different venue collectives.
A nice line down here if she's got the weight.
Not
Really good bowl.
Got the dramatic turn at the end that they did yesterday.
Yeah, as that moisture comes up out of the top inch of this green, you'll find it get a little bit quicker. But yeah, for the first few ends, it'll hold a little bit.
The last second or 2 of travel yesterday afternoon was more sideways than forwards.
It was, yes. Yes, I was driving home to the Central Coast and I was watching bits and pieces on the live stream, doing my best to drive and watch. And I saw a few of the Cabramatta boys bowls. They were turning pretty sharp angles at the end. So,
but as one of our viewers pointed out, it's great to watch blokes who know what they're doing on it and using that turn to their advantage.
Absolutely. Well, it's a bit of a tricky green, this green, because playing this way that the girls are playing right now, you play the forehand on the club side, it's the wider hand, where if you're playing out on the other end, from coming down the other side on this lady's backhand, as she's playing right now, it is the tighter hand. So, people get mixed up thinking, it's going to hold there with the club, but it tends to swoop a lot, especially when you get past that outlet down at the other side near the end of the green.
A bit of breeze comes along there? Or?
Breeze comes through that tunnel just near our machinery shed there, and it just drifts it straight across, yeah.
A few greens I've played on where even if the wind is going in a certain direction, it still plays opposite to what you think.
Yeah.
It's just the wind tunnel effect of the clubhouse.
That's right.
Around.
Yeah, one of the greens at Carlingford Bowling Club, they've got a 1 foot wide hand and a 5 foot wide hand there, and they use it to their advantage a lot over the years. That little Fremantle doctor they call it up there at Carlo.
At my club, 3 or 4. If the wind's coming from a certain direction, there's especially at the clubhouse end, it can be a little bit interesting.
Yep.
And, the Albatross always refers to rink 13 as windy corner. It comes in between the channel.
Yep.
Yeah. Just can't seem to take enough grass on the backhand towards the club. Probably giving away some secrets to our opponents, but
should be an interesting weekend coming up if the weather hits. So yeah, they've told us that we've got to play one of our games on the underneath the dome at on the synthetic at Baddow Bay this Sunday. So we're going to play Halakalani there, but the Saturday the rain forecast for Saturday is terrible. So I'm not sure we'll end up playing a washout round on the Sunday, but we're still going to be short around if we get washed out. So. A lot of clubs may be affected this weekend by the weather.
I do know the Illawarra match committee have been talking to us about what to do should Saturday get washed out with our finals on. The issue is we've got 7 matches to play and only enough space on an indoor for 2.
That's right. That's right.
So
I think.
do you choose to play some and not others, or do you choose to put them off?
Yeah, I think that's what the same problem is up on the coast. They've got a couple of indoors and a couple of roofs, but they haven't got a roof at every club. So there will be some extra washout dates handed out there, I believe, if that weather gets pretty heavy on the Saturday.
I would have been happy to play 3 sessions on Saturday, get rid of 6 of the matches. But I might be the odd one out, being happy to play at 5 o'clock in the afternoon instead of 1 o'clock.
Yeah. You got Platinum League this weekend, mate, yeah?
Yeah, Platinum Pennant, Saturday, 2 o'clock stream game from Mount Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
They're taking on Winty Leagues. And then Sunday, well, they're all 10 o'clock Sunday. Can't remember who it is. That's terrible.
Yeah.
It's all listed on the Bowls New South Wales website, though. Pretty good segue to
Yep.
say visit bowlsnsw.com.au, point your mouse at events.
Yeah.
First one on the drop down is Platinum Pennant. All the information there, and then there's the schedule and draw. If I click on the round 11 tab, it's the Saints. How could I forget that?
Uh-huh.
They take on East Maitland on our live game.
Yep.
I know there's plenty of discussion there about what to do if it's rained out. There's a lot of games that make a lot of difference to where people finish.
And they are, yeah. Yep.
Good on our teams for trying to make a plan to play those. About using the indoor at Warilla, the covered greens at Cabramatta or Wenty.
And I think that's why a lot of clubs these days are looking down that direction of either building 1 or 2 domed, roofed greens to sort of like put up with that kind of schedule. And if you do get wet weather, it's easy, you can move them there. I think St John's are sort of heading down that direction, down the path, to put a couple of synthetics in with some roofs. And the Entrance Bowling Club up on the Central Coast, they're halfway through their construction. So
I want to see the club that manages to construct a retractable roof so you can keep growing grass greens underneath them.
well, that's a tough job there, but yeah. Pass me that guy's number.
Let's get to the stage like the English Premier League football sides where they've got heaters under the grass and everything. So
like Marvel Stadium in Melbourne, yeah, for the footy.
How would you like to have heated surface under the grass so you can turn the warmth on and grow your grass?
Yeah, I walked across the Sydney Football Stadium when they did a new rebuild of it, and they'd closed it after a game, and they had heat lamps across the whole. I think it was just like a big sea of pink, and they were heating up the grass and growing, and it was growing the ryegrass overnight. Yeah, because they went from a concert to a game in 5 days. So yeah, but no, it'd be pretty interesting on a bowling green to have that. So.
You still have a few experts telling you what you did wrong.
Oh, mate, you meet experts in this game in all aspects. Usually some of them, yeah, they're your best friend as well.
While it is wonderful to have the covered surfaces and they are good to play on, I'd still rather play on a good grass green.
Yeah, good tiffies, good outdoor tiffies. They're my pick of them. You know, we've got a synthetic green at Mumora and played on a few of the indoors, and Greenleys Park, Warren Cooches. But you find yourself a good tiffy that runs well. These ones here, they're only 3 to 4 years old. These greens, so they run a pretty good line. But yeah, Belrose Bowling Club's probably 2 of the best tiffies, 3 of the best tiffies I've ever played on. But yeah, that's my pick of the 2. Yeah.
Oh, what a great bowl from Lisa Pillar. 2 down, draws the shot. And Chrissy goes through to the ditch. Does it bring the other 2 back in? Probably does. Have to consider playing a run here, wouldn't you? Forehand down to the bowl. Looks like she's trying to get there. Got to chance to push her own up for shot as well.
Yes.
Good answer.
Right answer.
This is one of the bowls that, when you're playing skip, you look at it and go, well, what am I playing skip for? I can't get shot here very easily.
Sit a bowl and draw second shot.
I'll just try and reach and hope for a good result.
A little bit narrow there for that hand.
Well, good intent. It's one more to South Tamworth. Right. Well, perhaps a little bit of luck to Chris Myers, but she gave it every chance to get it. We do get some great shots with the camera position right above the scoreboard.
Yeah.
It leans in.
There's a few good players out there today. Should be an interesting afternoon. Have you got to enjoy the facilities of the club yet, mate? Gone for a wander in there?
Not really. Sort of arrived, set up, packed up. Disappeared back to have my beauty sleep.
Treat yourself to a bit of dumpling world before you leave the premises tomorrow. You'd be amazed. It's beautiful in there. They do a good feed. Good ball here.
There we go. We've got Lee in. Had to do the technical, press the button 47 times to verify that it was the correct account.
Definitely not changing professions there, Michelle. I'll stick to greenkeeping. This is a part-time gig, this commentary. So there's still a bit of rain up in Newcastle, Chrissy. It'll take a while for that to clear up there.
All right, let's see what's going on. Why can't he? Maybe I've not added him as an editor. No, he's an editor. Maybe I might just have to give him my computer.
Just a bit under here. That's the grass. She's out there. Should come back well. Good bowl.
Have a great chance. Just a little bit on the quick side. got a little rub and stay in. Touch on the jack. Do you think still one to the Carol White bowl on the centre line? Just short. Just off the centre line. I think we've got Lee all set with the scores on his phone now. We're endeavouring to give you, everybody watching, some score updates in the bottom right-hand corner. Can't see any scoreboards from this position. That's the problem.
Yes, Chrissy Hull, we're under the dome at Baddo Bay as well on Sunday. We're in the morning, so should see you there sometime, buddy.
I am supposed to be playing at Warilla on Saturday afternoon.
Indoor, yeah.
Oh, we probably may not be indoors. Hoping it doesn't rain too much. I'm made out of sugar. I melt in the rain.
I don't think anyone really likes playing out there in the rain, mate. It can be challenging at times.
I've come from a cricket background as a kid.
Covers on.
Covers on.
Covers on.
You weren't playing cricket.
Yep, covers on, stay home. Yep.
And a lot of junior cricket on synthetic pitches. Once they got wet, you didn't want to be on them.
No.
They become very slippery.
Yeah, we've got a couple of synthetic greens up on the coast today, which are pretty underwater. The one at Stockton and Munmora, we've closed those for the day. So yeah, once the rain hit, once you get past a certain amount of rain on those synthetics, they stay. The water stays. It takes a good hour to drain.
I think a synthetic with a cover is fantastic.
Yeah,
I know it's a case to have a synthetic green as well, but
Baddo Bay have tried the synthetic grass with a cover over the top, and as long as the Wyong group greenkeepers apply the right amount of rolling to it, it'll become a very good green. The air movement underneath the cover keeps it from getting too quick or too slow, and you can turn your lights on and off, and the cloud cover on a synthetic green under cover like that can keep the speed up, where when you don't have the roof, the sun will dry it up and slow it down. So that's why we water them. But when they're under the cover like that, they hold their pace. The first 6 months of those synthetic greens from KCL being installed, you've really got to work them right with the KCL manual with the rollers and get them right and get them firm. Broom them, groom them. There's a bit of sand movement underneath because a fair few tonne of sand goes in there. 40 tonne of sand goes into the base of one of those. Yeah, so
it's quite a different view to see someone pushing what looks like a lawnmower over a synthetic green.
Yeah. Well, the instead of having a cutting cylinder in them, they have a brush in them. So after a high amount of rain like this, I'll broom my one at Munmora tomorrow, and I'll pick up a lot of the kind of ash and silt that you don't usually see. Where with a grass green, you just pick it up in the catcher. So, and then once that's broomed, then you can get the rollers out and you flatten them down with a roller. It's almost like you're moving the sand and leveling the sand back out. So it's a process, but a lot of clubs go down the path of synthetic greens, and they think the greenkeepers won't have to touch them, or they're going to save money, but you've still got to work them. You've still got to spend a good 2 hours a day on them. Yeah.
I suppose it's like anything else. You want a good surface, you have to work on it.
You do.
South Tamworth are holding a few here.
A couple here.
Lisa looking to play her forehand through the head a little bit. Really needs to make some contact. It's on a decent line, so I think it's just going to hold up. But, she's got a result out of it. Still 2 down.
Still 2.
Actually probably saved a few. Most bowlers don't really have a clue of what the greenkeepers get up to. We're an early start, and you guys are here way before us.
Yes, yeah. We're in at 5 a.m. most days this week. We're lucky here. We've got some pretty good LED floodlights over the top of these greens, and we don't seem to have much of a noise restriction out here at Cabramatta Canley Vale. I think the place is pretty alive at night, so yeah, we start working and we're not waking anyone up. So 5 a.m. we get in and we get the car parks cleaned and get into the preparation of the greens and match jacks, ditches and boxes, and then we started work on the greens at about say 10 to 6. And yeah, this week we've been very lucky. We haven't had much dew and we've had a dry surface, so we were able to get the rollers straight on right on 6 o'clock. So between 6 and 8 we applied a fair bit of pressure to the greens, so by 9 o'clock when they were about finishing their roll up ends, the greens was right up there around 16, 17 seconds.
Oh, great start from Carol White.
I think my 2IC, James Sadler, he's pretty much slept here for the last 6 months. I don't think he's been home to his family much. He's put his heart and soul into these two surfaces, and we've produced some quality results. It's shown this week. He's got a young assistant with him, Bailey Myers, who's our apprentice. So he's stuck by his side. And he's been his shadow for the last 6 months, and he's picked a lot of it up in the first 6 months of his apprenticeship as well. So it's been good for him.
Can Carol repeat the dose? Pretty well down. Just going to be a little bit on the wide side.
So it should hold a little bit. She's got weight.
Fairly big program for most of these bowlers too, so fatigue might actually
absolutely
settle in for some.
Absolutely, especially the ones that travel so far and they're in motels and eat a motel breakfast, and you know it's definitely a journey for a lot of them to come in for the week.
I know halfway through an event, fatigue can be a factor for us running it too. So
sure can.
And I'm not playing that many games of bowls.
Yep. I'm glad we've got a week off next week before we start the singles, because it'll be a pretty busy week after that.
We try to make sure we have an early night, early-ish anyway. Hotel breakfast is not a thing for us, so
no.
We pop over to the local supermarket and get a box of cereal and a bit of cereal in the morning.
That's the way. Yep, definitely. Yeah, I've been on the M1 most mornings at 3 o'clock this week, so it'll take me about an hour and 10 to get here, and then get straight into it and have a bit of breakfast. And
well, big bonus for you there is that sort of time the traffic hasn't quite hit the peak.
Oh, mate, it's been fantastic, mate. I've like I said, left the Central Coast at 3, and I've driven in here at 4:10 most mornings, so it's been good.
Good effort there from Lisa, turning Eva's bowl up towards the head. Good thing for us though is we get to know a lot of these bowlers. So you're meeting old friends, really.
Yeah. Yep.
Some not so old. And most of your top line bowlers are pretty good to get along with. Well, I heard me ribbing Dave Thomas there earlier, but get along really well with Dave, and he's been generous enough to jump into commentary a few times when he's been knocked out of an event.
Very tough to get along with the Lee Stinsons of the world at times.
If he enjoyed his steak medium rare, he'd be a good bloke.
I mean, he's just a bit more blood in his life. That's right.
He still gives me the sideways look, so I'll have a medium rare and burn one for him.
The butcher from Blaney, what was the bloke calling him?
Yep. I have no idea where that came from.
Don't know.
Oh, good bowl there from Eva. She's turned it over. I might be even holding a couple there now. So Chrissy Myers to fix that for South Tamworth. You will see some scores popping through on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Look at the grey section up the top to tell whether it's the men or the women. See those scores populating through. Big lead for Singleton RSL over Tarodji. Cabramatta in the man. Narrow lead over Kempsey Heights. Wendy Leagues, well, they've got a 7-1 over Malua Bay. Windale leading Tarrant Point 6-3. Fig Tree trailing Corrimal 5-2. Edelong trailing Raymond Terrace 4-5. Nelson Bay leading Gunnedah 4-2. Mount Lewis leading Berkeley 6-1. And in the women, Edelong lead Beresfield by 6-3. Cabra lead Fig Tree 6-0. And the Terrace lead Ballina 7-0. They'll all populate through there. The man you just mentioned, Lee Stinson's got his phone out going, putting those into our little sheet, which is linked over that internet thingy to our live stream computer.
Yep. She played that a little bit wide there, fraction more weight than what she needed.
Absolutely amazing what can be done these days, and it's only going to get better. We can soon transition to using all digital scorecards, not have to print any.
It'd be great.
Use your phone. Out on the green. Some people don't like that idea.
That'd be interesting for the job of the second that says he has to do the card all the time. So, yeah.
But we have already done that for the Platinum Pennant, so you can see live scores during the game.
Yeah, the boys are always punching their numbers in. Yep.
That's 2 for us and 10 on the second at Eagle Farm.
I'm sure there's a bit of punting going on there.
Look, as long as I'm at the point where it's not disturbing anybody and it's not holding the game up, I don't really care.
No, the game's changed a lot, mate. In a few years, we've gone through it. Like telephones are a tool for survival now. If you don't have your phone with you, you're not operating a business, or you can't check anything on you without a telephone. You lose your phone, you lose your diary. That's probably the way I look at it now. Yeah.
And look, we've pretty much gone paperless as much as we can. We will have some printed programs for Women's Carnival next week. That one audience is the one that says they want them, but we've gone digital for the programs for most other events, and there's an odd person still comes and asks for a printed program. We say, well, it's all online, scan this QR code.
Yep.
And we trialled it with the juniors to start with, and they all embraced it, of course. Part of an ecologically friendly approach.
When you look at the direction the game's going, with everything, like with the streaming, with the kind of leagues we're playing, the televising of every state of their Premier Leagues and their pennants, and just everything from Instagram to Facebook to the lot. Like you can stay up to speed with lawn bowls just by sitting and looking at your phone. You don't need to be, just flicking through a Bowls Alive magazine anymore, do you?
I've been working in bowls for 28 years plus. Did say when I first started that pennant results used to be faxed into the office.
They did, yes.
We'd then make up a mail out, we'd print around 800 and something copies of this mail out, and they'd be posted out to clubs on the Friday afternoon following the pennant finals. So 5 days later, they'd get them anything up to 2 weeks later, and that was pretty good. Nowadays, people want to know the result halfway through the game. Where's the results of the twos? Yep. I can't find the final score. Well, they're still out there playing.
The bride can't walk down the aisle now without getting a photograph of her posted on Instagram these days, mate. So it's all done by cameras. So
I've got to say, our coverage of our bowls now, just over the internet, is better than the TV coverage was quite some time ago. I'll admit that, but.
Andrew, I remember when I was an apprentice Greenkeeper, you'd have to read the Daily Telegraph to find out who won the major singles the day before. So it's changed a lot.
I was wondering, Narrabri. I've seen a few, lucky enough to a couple of times had Fox Cricket Channel available, and every now and then they play a classic match.
Yep.
You look at the graphics on the screen and go,
times have changed.
I thought that was cool.
And you've only got to look at their uniforms. You look at their uniforms, you think that was cool. So I was watching a stream that was posted the other night of Cameron Curtis playing Rob Perella in a singles game, in the Jack Sets singles game. Cameron was wearing a bright red uniform. Robbie was wearing forest green, and they both had sets of ABT inside ABTs in the coloured bowls, which I think were one of the first transitioned over to coloured bowls. You look how the game's changed now. Like the different one if you've got a set of black bowls these days.
I have made the point to someone once, you mug Lair using black bowls.
Have you?
Remember the Qantas Jetabout?
Yep.
Many years ago, it's a big singles tournament, the Qantas Jetabout. They were the first to use coloured bowls. And you know how they got the coloured bowls? They painted them.
They painted them, did they?
They were using painted sets of bowls.
Wow.
What a foresight and what an innovation.
Yeah, wow. Things have changed since then.
It was really good until it rained.
Yep.
And they were a little bit slippery.
What do you play with, Andrew?
Old set of ABT Evos.
Right. Yes.
So if any bowl sponsors out there looking to sponsor me, mine are about...
He's ready for an upgrade.
Mine are about 7 years out of date. I'm still learning how to use them.
Are your emblems out of engraving? Do you need them re-engraved or?
No, they're pretty good. There's I'm not sure what my second is a fan of, but I've got a Parramatta fan as my lead, and he's got a set of blue and yellow bowls with the Parramatta painted logo on it.
Oh, I've got a third that's got sea eagles on his, and it's just every time they come down, I just cringe looking at them.
Well,
so
you probably kick mine. I've got a Bunnies fan as my third. Bad season for the Albatross.
Yes.
And I have Broncos logos on my bowls.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
The only person who's liked them was Steve Glasson.
Yeah. Do you like him with a toucher, or do you like him? Do you like him just look at him and like him? Yeah.
Old Queensland boy, Steve. He's a Broncos fan too.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little bit of a wild start for the ladies. Maybe I should get out and practice and be as good as Disco. Then I might get a bowl sponsorship.
He might be able to sponsor himself. He's got that many sets of bowls.
I have enough trouble using one set. People ask me which is the best set of bowls, and I say, well, the bowls that you use and that you know what happens with them.
Yes. Yep.
I often think that blokes like Disco and Teasy, a few of those sort of fellas, they could pick up a pineapple and play with it.
They could pick up a half-empty schooner glass and roll it down the green and get close, mate. Their weight control's pretty pure.
We had a promotional thing on once, and I got to play against Rex Johnson. It was only about a 7-in game. And we had a set of our junior bowls there, a set of, I think they were 00. They were tiny little things, and his first bowl was maybe 10 feet short. And I thought, I'm in with a chance here. Well, that was the only time.
No.
The next one was about 2 inches off, and it only got better from there.
Many years ago, when I was a junior, I played with Rex in the Marrickville Pairs, and he'd flown back from England, and he got in off the plane. He was exhausted, but he said he'd honoured his contract with me. He said, I'll play with you, Gav. We got out there and he pulled out his green bowls at the time. I'm not sure what they were. And it was dead slow. We'd had 40 millimetres of rain at Marrickville overnight, and he just said, I hope you're ready for this, son, because we're going ditch to ditch all day. And we went well. It was a good tournament, but I've watched him just play from tee to tee with his older set of bowls and just swing them out and get them in. Yeah, he's pretty classy on slow greens, Rex.
Just a reminder, we are playing 21 ends of traditional Aussie walking pairs if you're from overseas. 2x2 and repeat. Lead 2, skip 2. Dead ends are replayed. And now we're out of the sectional play. It's not mandatory to play every end. In fact, if we get to a point where it's impossible for one team to win, game's over. So basically it's 9 shots in front with 1 to play, 17 with 2, and we hope we don't get the 25 with 3 to play. No. But if a team gets to the 17th end and says, well, we're not going to get them and we've had enough, cut the bleeding, they are permitted to do that. During sectional play, because the wins and then margins is the determinant, we asked them to play all games until it was impossible for anyone to win. A couple of the sectional games where there was two game winners playing each other in round 3, they said, can we knock this off here, cut the bleeding, and we let them do that, of course. There was going to be no other outcome affected by that concession.
My staff are walking in and taking photos of me sitting in the commentary box. I think they're asking me to take them in for breakfast shortly, mate. So I might love you and leave you, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow for the final, mate.
Yep, no worries.
All right, Andrew.
He had a big smile on his face. He took that.
He did. He was photobombing Jimmy Sadler. I saw him out there, and he just sent me a copy of it now. So he might have to miss out on some yum chow now. So
can he say stop talking and come and feed me?
Oh, he said something like that. He's always want me to feed him. That's it.
No worries at all. Thanks, Gab, for joining us.
All right, Andrew.
Those insights into the Greens.
All good, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy your day, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, Gavin.
Thanks,
cheers.
Bye bye.
Turf care, the Greenkeepers here. Come in and give us some insights. In time, the match has progressed. So Tamworth still fairly well in control. It's the 7th end. I haven't missed any. No one said, hang on, the score's changed. So must be doing okay. Decent sort of game. Tamworth ladies have just got the edge in the opening few ends. Quite got the right grass, just going to crash on the shorter bowls. Just draw another one is the question. Oh, Vicky, thanks for letting me know. I turned the wrong volume down. Turned the gain off on Mike Gav used, and then turned the send out on my own. Two to South Tamworth at the moment. Carroll looking to just measure to check a few others. Lucky with the weather here, it's a little overcast, but when maybe a fraction cool outside, but still good conditions to play bowls. Looks like 3 to South Tamworth. Well, they're marching on with this game. Do hope the Narrabri girls, they can just get a a few shots here just to build the confidence. Even if they do happen to lose this game, I'd like to go away saying, well, we've given it a good shot. You know, they were happy they've got this far. Good starter from Carroll. Oh, just as we said, we'd been lucky with the weather. A little shower of rain coming over. Unexpected to get very much. Shower quite heavy, the spectators scattering. Just on the edge of the little scud on the radar. Nothing too much to it. Players just going to continue. Not to stand in front of the wall. And you see the radar, just a little scud coming through. See Homebush and Bankstown down to the left. Quite a sharp shower going over the airport. Just on the edge of that, we'll endeavour to keep you on our stream for as long as possible. purchase the back? I don't know if that'll work, but you can try. There's an umbrella in the car if you want it. I think it'll end pretty soon anyway, this rain, I think. Yep, the 7N theory is up. South Tamworth look to be well and truly in control of this game. Chris Myers has got something out that you don't see very often, as the bowls glove. Just to help her keep the grip in wet weather. Perfectly legal. Would gain an advantage in keeping the grip, but a lot of people feel that wearing a glove, you just miss that little touch on the end of the fingers that gives you the feeling to get your weight down pat. A bit of motion there, we're just trying to cover the ports on the computer, make sure on the camera. Keep the electronics as dry as possible. South Tamworth holding here. So we're just doing a little bit of work in the background to try and make sure we can continue to stream. Fortunately, we're getting a bit of water on the cameras. Rain looks like it has eased a little, but difficult to see. Well, back with commentary. Just took a little break to do a few little technical things. We've had our expert assistant just clean the lens on one of the cameras. Just a little bit of rain coming down. South Tamworth leading 15-1 after 8 ends. Might need a little score update on the others soon. We're just on the edge of that shower. Nothing too heavy about it. There is a rather big patch coming up over Sutherland. Just petered out as it comes west. Rain looks a lot more unpleasant from our camera 3 than from any others. I found the error. The score updates are not coming through. Unfortunately, we'll just fix this up. Our software doesn't always like to keep its connection. South Tamworth just have the edge at the moment, well and truly leading. Just under the line from Eva. Sorry, from Lisa. Oh, conditions out there just a little damp, a little unpleasant, but certainly very much playable. Does look worse on the middle camera than the others. They've gotten just a little heavier again. Concrete's wet. Well, that rain's just getting a bit heavier and our cameras are not waterproof, so with South Tamworth leading 15-1, ladies and gents, we'll just suspend our broadcast for a little while, but we will bring our cameras in out of the rain. Hopefully we'll be able to join you for more action again in a while, but for now, South Tamworth leading comfortably. We'll